All right, we're back for the championship match of week 1 of PAL Weekly. We have Bellum Aeternus versus Wildcard Syndicate. Bellum Aeternus will be on the NC, and Wildcard Syndicate will be on the S. Rel, what do you think about this matchup based on what we've seen in our first 2 matches?
So BAID was VS last time, now they're NC. It's they're also going to be spawning from the Northern Sunderer, which is, am I supposed to tell them that?
Yes, we'll have Macon kind of explain what that process is about, but you can talk about it for sure.
Absolutely. So Northern Sunday spawn, the last time we saw BAID versus Consortium, there was a lot of lockdowns going toward the D, Alpha, and then sort of butting heads there at Bravo. And that was primarily the strategy for the the entire first match. So if anything, BAID should feel very, very comfortable with the top 3 bases here. So that Northern Sunderer spawn is going to suit them just nicely.
Yeah, we saw out of the first 2 matches that these guys won, they had a very similar approach. You know, they had the northern side. Both of them wanted really that northern side, left trolley up to the other person, and then they won with that. So it'll be really interesting to see these overlapping strategies. And do they keep to them? Do they mix it up? I mean, based on center replacement, etc., what adaptation we see from these outfits to either keep their strategy or work with the strategy they can they counter their own strategy effectively?
I'm concerned with how used to shooting at VS they are. BAID.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how much experience they have on alternate factions. It's a big part in the competitive play. Psychologically, if you switch from one side to the other immediately, like within an hour or so that we've been for this match, can you switch colors? Do you have your you set up so your red is dead, or do you play purple all of a sudden is bad? I mean, it depends on what you're using in terms of your options, but I think it does have a part into the game.
I think so too. I mean, when we look at it, watching the screen or whatever, it's plain as day. Oh, he's NC, he's VS. But I'm someone who plays all 3 factions, right? TR at the least. But and sometimes I'll just pause for that split second, that fraction of a second, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm dumb. He's now shooting back at me, and that's enough to give them the edge. So hopefully they'll be able to adapt. Maybe they've
We are started now. We've got Macon getting us going here. Looks like a strong push out of the Vanu, which again are Bellum, Aeternus, BAID, going into the southern side. So they've abandoned their northern approach and are going south, which is a really interesting thing. I'm sorry, I just said that was BAID. That's what Wildcard Syndicate is Vanu. I'm already getting confused.
See? Psychological warfare on the casters. The majority of BAID's forces are on Alpha Point, and we're working toward Bravo, looking like it's coming from the basement, going up towards B. Let's see if they secure it.
Wildcard is going around Alpha to the northern side on the bottom level and coming in from the side, so looks like Wildcard has shifted their northern strategy. They do have one potential harasser over on the Delta Point, but they are looking to set up a line strategy, I believe, from what our first initial push is. Line being Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams adapt to kind of overlapping strategies here. Again, Wildcard Syndicate is on the Vanu. Their tag is WLDC. And Bellum Aeternus is on the new conglomerate. So keep that in mind. These are both VS outfits.
It looks like BAID. They must have gotten wiped at B point over there because they have the majority of their forces up near the northern east, tippy-tip northeast, en masse going, looks like they're going for the A point from below. See if they can push VS out.
A lot of fighting going on right now at the Alpha point. There are a few people on the roof for the Vanu up on top of Delta. They seem to just be harassing. Looks like almost all their effort is being pushed up through the Bravo point and into Alpha. So again, the line strategy with a couple harassers covering the line, that Alpha point from Delta, and potentially, poking at it every once in a while.
Looks like BAID's in force going for B. And this is It seems to be almost a Wrecking Ball style approach that we saw from AFX last game.
Yeah, BAID is successful in grabbing the Bravo point. It looks like they're in the process of flipping Charlie. This will be a 4-point flip if they can get this down. They have the lead right now, and this will be a big move for them early on. Looks like they were wiped on the Charlie point, but they are holding the northern triangle now. They were effectively able to push out to the Bravo center point and hold it. And I'm not sure, do you see them pushing into Charlie, or does it look like they're setting up a defensive positioning now?
Pretty much the entire force is on Charlie, looks like. And this is a very, very different strategy than what we saw the first game. From Wildcard, rather. Because they are definitely shoring up defenses on C point. Maybe they're going to push in a group towards Bravo. Can't really tell yet.
It looks like Wildcard is doing more of a Wrecking Ball approach to get that Bravo point. I'm worried that they're going to be falling into that whole kind of fixation on Bravo, because we saw that in our losing kind of outfits in the first 2 matches, when we got in this triangle thing where you hold Charlie, and we focus on Bravo exclusively, there tend to be a strong defense there. So knowing that this is a strategy for BAID, holding at the Bravo point, this could be their wall again. So it'll be interesting to see if Wildcard can go around it. I haven't seen a lot of them. They seem be really coming through the Charlie point aggressively, with only a few using that northern Sunderer spawn.
They're definitely locking down Delta point here. Oh, it's actually there was 3 defenders. Now there's 1 on either side, 1 attacker, 1 defender. See if D point goes down. Finally, maybe making some moves. Looks like Charlie point has got a whole lot of red. I'm sorry, I see red. A whole lot of purple. And up again against that B point.
Yeah, the wall that is Bravo point for Bellum Aeternus, yes, seems to be the strategy here. Let's hold B, hold the northern triangle. They're doing a great job of holding Delta point. They did have Wildcard had looks like 1 unit sneak around and go up on the eastern side up into A. 2 units
is that a
there
stalker?
now. Let's see. I see
can't see it.
Medic in Alpha, and they must have just jumped out or gotten wiped. So they're having a lot of trouble, it seems, getting around the defenses and getting to any points to make a substantial chunk. Right now, Bellum Aeternus has 3 points and about 50% capture in their favor, with 15 minutes left on the clock.
Something needs to change. I don't think we can keep smashing up against that Bravo point. Looks like there's a lot of action going in Delta though, so maybe we're circling around the back here.
Yeah, it does look like the strategy has shifted for Wildcard, and it can't be too late because they are pushing aggressively now in toward the Delta point. They have a stronghold on Charlie. Maybe they're saying we need Charlie and Delta, and then we'll pick and pop at Alpha and Bravo and potentially get that 1 flip that can get us their advantage. But right now it's a deadlock with actually Charlie point going in favor to neutral cap right now. So a shift in strategy there from Wildcard on the VS. But looks like BAID is kind of responding and moving right into Charlie that they somewhat abandoned.
BAID looks like has the majority of their forces going up on Delta right now, and that seems to be where is it like a save Delta, save the world?
Yeah, right. There is a strong fight going on at Delta right now. Again, Wildcard needs to get another point here to lock this, stop the bleeding, and then somehow chip away and get that 3rd to start the progress capture going back in their favor.
We got a couple BAID going up toward C, and it looks like the defenders from Wildcard actually left. They left to go pursue Bravo, and they might end up losing Charlie point. There's a little bit of contention here. Contestation.
It's interesting. It looks like we have 1 guy has snuck around for Wildcard Syndicate is now taking Alpha. So again, they're content currently on holding Charlie and Delta, and then having 1 or 2 kind of lone soldiers go out and flip the empty points, trying to take advantage of the Bellum Aeternus spread style and maybe capturing points that really don't have anyone near them defending it. Bellum Aeternus looks like they responded to Delta aggressively. Strong push on Delta. They want Delta back.
It looks like they're trying to hit the reset button here. Start from Delta, sweep around. We see this, saw it at the beginning. It looks like we're going to see it again. Going for Alpha Point, a little bit, half the forces below, half the forces on the Bridge of Death. And they're dealing with a light assault, single hero light assault that's up on Alpha Point, laying down the harassment.
But Wildcard was successful in grabbing 3 points there. Potentially about to grab the 4th. D is being fought over aggressively. But they're chipping away back under 50% capture, still in favor of Bellum Aeternus, but this is exactly what Wildcard needed to do. They need to mix up their strategy and throw a curveball at Bellum and start to get this capture timer back to half.
It looks like both sides know that D is kind of where it's at, and they definitely don't want BAID to hit that reset button on Delta. They're locking it down pretty hard. But at this point, BAID has Bravo and Charlie. They got a few defenders on either point, and they're looks like they're just more interested in kind of locking things down.
So before this match, before all matches actually, before PAL Weekly started for this week, the BAID team was predicted to win with only 14% of voters, with Wildcard Syndicate predicting to win it all at 28%. A straw poll done by our producer, Kid Riot, right before this match started had BAID selected to win at 60%. Currently, BAID is holding the lead, with Wildcard playing catch-up, effectively, and trying to chip away by now holding Alpha, Bravo, and Delta points, the Northern Triangle. But it's an interesting thing to see that because of their first match, BAID made a strong point and are still aggressively fighting to become champions here, and maybe changing public opinion of them as we speak.
And Delta going down again, but still have the Charlie points. Looks like there's a little bit of fighting going on.
As it stands, I'd say maybe 40% in favor of a lead for Bellum Aeternus on the NC. Lots of fighting going on at the Alpha and Bravo points. We have a flip currently. Right now, we have 2 points in favor of Bellum Aeternus and 2 points in favor of Wildcard Syndicate. It looks like Wildcard on the VS is now currently holding the southern approach from Charlie up to Bravo and pushing aggressively up that line. Maybe 1 or 2 flankers moving on Delta. But they are meeting a strong contingency from Bellum Aeternus NC at Bravo point. So it's the wall factor again. We kind of, like you said, we reset, and we're seeing a lot of the opening strategy all over again.
Lots of defenders on Bravo and Delta, but not a whole lot at A. It seems like A is kind of the lost child. He just happens to be there in the background, and we talk to him every once in a while.
10 minutes left on the match here. BAID is about to flip their 4th point, potentially. I don't know if they'll get that off. Charlie has a strong... There it is! 4 points in favor of BAID. Look at that timer go, man. 1 minute left in their capture. Charlie very quickly goes back to neutral. But anytime you have that, once you have the lead, it's, just even further damage.
Wildcard got the resecure on Charlie. Hopefully they can start making a push towards Bravo. Looks kind of sort of defended, maybe. Alpha's a little bit more defense now, Delta's a little bit more defense now. You can tell that BAID really just wants to dig in and just repel the attackers. Lots of engineer, let's see, 1 engineer turret, 1 light assault up on the roof, engineer turrets. Looks like people are just they're trying to keep their distance at this point, sending small waves in to either side. But I think that Wildcard is really gonna, they might want to start wrecking ball at this point.
It looks like Wildcard is pushing a strong force up to the Alpha point and trying to just skip that wall that is at Bravo. But in doing so, Charlie is now in flux. The problem, it seems like every time Wildcard goes around the wall, Bellum Aeternus moves right down and takes that Charlie point. We're down to a minute left for a capture for Bellum Aeternus on the NC. Wildcard, it looks like they're just kind of stumped right now. They've been trying different strategies and they're struggling. And that's really credit to the NC and Bellum Aeternus. I mean, their strategy is they're doing a great job. They're playing very well. They are holding 3 points and then flipping towards that 4th point every once in a while. They're able to withstand the Wrecking Ball. They have a strong defense at Bravo Point. And here it is again, another Wrecking Ball coming up from Wildcard up into Bravo, trying to get a flip now with 35 seconds left on the base capture in favor of Bellum Aeternus.
What they need right now is just neutrals at the very least, stop the clock. I think they had the right idea with going back towards Alpha and trying to avoid Bravo and Delta, because as long as you can get a foothold, you know, on Alpha, Alpha would be a good place to start splitting defenses for BAID, and that seems to be their specialty. BAID is just locking down a point and keeping the bases really, really close together. I think there needs to be some way to split them, divide them. Even if they take Charlie, you know, if you can try to keep Charlie contested a little bit, that'll keep BAID occupied to the point where hopefully you can start making progress on some of these other bases.
There's such a slim amount remaining for a capture for Bellum Aeternus, and Wildcard is trying to chip away at that. They are now holding the line Alpha Bravo Charlie. They need to buy some time. They need to get that progress bar away from the top. They've got to be feeling some pressure here, but they are responding. Every time they moved that Wrecking Ball, it looked like BAID moved in right behind them and captured. But they're chipping away a little bit. Looks like a 90% capture right now, though, in favor of Bellum Aeternus and BAID. They are sniffing the victory right now.
We're running under the 10-minute mark, so 3 is not going to do it. They need to take the 4 cap if they want to be successful.
Looks like they're doing a strong push now on the Delta. They have Charlie kind of guarded with one guy. They're leaving another one guy. That is Wildcard, leaving at one person at each point that they capture. Try to keep almost like an alert or a canary there, and then pushing aggressively to knock out the wall. They are in the process right now of flipping Alpha Point. That would have been the 4th if it weren't for the sole soldier that came in and took Bravo Point for BAID. So it's Wildcard is digging deep here, and to their credit, they have the Charlie Point and Delta Point pretty much locked down and defended. They're aggressively hitting Alpha Point with people from that Northern Sunderer. And then Bravo Point they kind of flirt with once in a while, and hopefully when BAID is not there, they hold it for time enough to tick away at the progress bar.
Definitely seems like hit and run strategy and try to avoid BAID.
BAID responding here, holding Alpha and Bravo, and now fighting aggressively for Delta. They are able to capture Delta, ticking back up progress bar already in their favor, right around a 75 to 80% capture right now. So they're completely content. They can play defense. 5 minutes left on the clock, just announced by our head official Macon. They can play defense. They can go for the capture here. It's pretty much in their court right now. Wildcard against the fence here to Bellum Aeternus BAID out of Connery.
Lots of movement. They seem to just be locking, they're just locking down, you know, same strategy that they've used time and time again. It works. It doesn't look like they're doing any suicide rushes toward Charlie, really, so I think they're just going to kind of bide their time. They're going to bathe their time. You get it? All right, yeah.
That was good.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Rel here.
Yeah,
all
thanks.
week. 45 seconds about left in the capture for BAID. Wildcard holding Charlie currently, grabbing Delta and Bravo. They're really just trying to withstand these. They're on the ropes. They're trying to withstand and push as much as they can. To their credit, they are not giving up at all. They are fighting to the end. Want to try to flip Delta and looks like Alpha, but every time they go around, they do flip it, but then BAID comes in and kills them with a strong defensive approach. Under 10 seconds left on the capture. 5 seconds. 4. Still pushing on Delta. Will they stop it in time? 3 seconds. 2. And no, they will not. BAID, the champions of Week 1. Beating Wildcard Syndicate out of Matherson. What a match. Wow. Good job from BAID there.
That was a lot of back and forth. I mean, it looked like BAID had the upper hand for the majority of the time, but they were fighting hard. They were fighting really, really hard. Great effort by both teams.
Yeah, Wildcard did so well in that first round that, you know, I think when BAID came out with that aggressive defense and showed their really strong gunplay, it was hard for Wildcard to adapt. I mean, like we said, that wall was so effective for BAID. And to Wildcard's credit, though, they fought hard. They changed up their strategy. They tried different things. BAID just very versatile there. Only predicted by 14% of people to win it all before this. I think that they are a strong player and strong players, and this kind of result shows, hey, give BAID more credit. Good. More people need to know about them if they don't already. Looks like the teams are still shooting into the air to celebrate this victory. Rel, do you have anything else to say about what you saw from BAID and that last final match?
You know, it seems it's just it's hard. It's hard. BAID and Wildcard both have the same general strategies, and that northern Sunday spawn point was critical in letting BAID get set up for that starting that 3-cap on D, Alpha, and Bravo. And from there, it's defense, defense, defense.
So that'll really do it. Bellum Aeternus out of Connery winning the final on NC characters. They are a VS outfit, so more credit to that. They played an alternate faction and were able to win. Before we head off, I'd like to thank those on the PAL team that helped this week's production. Vengeance D as our PAL manager, Macon as the head official, Kid Riot as the camera operator, I Die for EXP as an official, Craft 3D HD as official and graphic designer, P149V3 as another official. And a special thanks to our special guest and my co-caster for the evening, Rel. It's been a pleasure, Rel. I really enjoyed this.
Thanks for having me. It was fun. Definitely very, very different. It's nice to see a definitely different side of Planetside 2, something that we're just not used to, you know.
Once again, a thank you to our outfits this week, including Consortium, Bellum Aeternus, Aftershock, and Wildcard Syndicate. Another congratulations to our weekly Week 1 champion, the first champion we've ever officially had, BAID, Bellum Aeternus out of Connery, winning it all for PAL Weekly Week 1. PAL Weekly is on social networks and looking to chat with you about tonight's matches. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook and start up the conversation for next week's matches. Be sure to check out our website and vote for the winner of next week's matches at proarenaleague.com. You can also sign up to be a part of the PAL Weekly events as well as our other PAL family events. Or if you're interested in joining our PAL staff, you can find applications on our website. Again, that is proarenaleague.com. Thank you so much for watching this Week 1 of PAL Weekly. It's been a pleasure. I'm Kai McMahon, signing off. Good evening.